So for a few days, I've been going back and forth from whether or not I even wanted to talk about this. Not because I don't think it's important, but just because I've been covering so much topics related around AI on this channel recently, and it's kind of gets depressing after a while, but this one is kind of important to me, and on the fact of I kind of just talk about anything on this channel anyway, so might as well talk about this, especially considering I do art now, and on top of that with music and everything else, this is kind of something that it kind of touches home to me, and this leads me to a broader topic I just wanted to speak my mind on for those, I guess, that are curious on what my thoughts might be about this whole situation and just sort of where things are going in general. So for those that are unaware, a couple of days ago, this was posted and said X is in talks with Midjourney for a potential partnership. And if I had to be honest, it's probably going to go through. If it's in potential talks, I see it going through some way, shape, or form. And then on top of that, this was also posted yesterday, and it said Twitter is going to start labeling AI generated content, which I'm really curious how that's even going to happen. I was reading through this because I was curious what everyone else's thoughts were going to be. Someone said, cool. And how would they know what is AI and what is not? And people think that this is going to tie into Midjourney. And again, if you don't know what Midjourney is, it's pretty much AI generative software so that you can generate pictures, images. I don't know if they do anything else past that point. I just know that that's what they are known for. But yeah, this is something that it just caught my eye, and I've been reading a lot of discussions around it and sort of to see what everybody else's take and opinion has been. I mean, of course you could sit there and say the default take is this fucking sucks, this fucking blows. And I mean, yeah, that exists, but then of course you got all the AI bros who are fucking excited. They're like, oh my God, fucking AI, this is going to be fucking amazing. Twitter is going through the roof. This is going to be something. All these other social media platforms they're losing the wave. We're fucking going straight to the moon, baby. And I mean, yeah, that's sad. It fucking sucks to hear shit like that. Because let's be real here. All it's going to do is litter this platform with even more garbage than it already has. If you type in Midjourney right now on Twitter, you're going to see so much uninspired, lifeless, soulless trash that it's probably going to make you depressed just from looking at it alone. Something interesting I keep seeing being brought up when people ask, how is Twitter going to be able to tell what's AI and what's not, is a lot of people try and go to, well, the metadata, bro. The metadata is clearly going to be able to tell if it was made through Stable Diffusion or a Midjourney or any of these other softwares. And the thing is, bro, I'm sorry, but you're fucking stupid and naive. All right, let's be real here. It's super easy to bypass that shit. You can sit there and literally just take a photo and screenshot it, and boom, metadata is gone. You can sit there and take a photo and put it through Photoshop, boom, metadata gone. Like, there is no real way to actually detect what is AI and what isn't. More than, I guess, using your eyes and just hoping that you're correct. But I mean, only real thing you could tell if something's made with AI is typically all AI art has a specific style to it, a specific art style, and it looks very samey. It looks like it all outputs the same bullshit. But if we're being honest here, it becomes harder and harder by the day. And again, AI is only going to be the worst that it ever is today, and that's always a true statement. So even if it could be detected today, eventually it'll get to a point where it can't be detected. And I know people are like, oh, well, if they're partnering with Midjourney, there's probably going to be some type of AI detection algorithm that they're going to be able to tell what's AI and what isn't. Dog, I don't trust no fucking software to be able to tell me what's AI and what isn't. All right, let's be real here. That shit is not going to work the way people are thinking it will. Because let's add the hypotheticals instead, right? Let's say that you're an actual artist, you made your art, and then it gets flagged for AI. What are you going to do? Contact Twitter support? Okay, buddy, good luck with that. No shot you're going to get any real support. What, like, people already get fucking shadow banned on the platform. That's already a nuisance as it is. And if I'm not even going to bother going into it, as a whole nother rabbit hole. But if you want to look up Twitter shadow ban, it's typically something a decent amount of artists go through, which more or less kills their account, and then they don't have any reach no more, and their art pretty much dies in the sense of they can't reach their actual audience and new people anymore, which is typically how you grow your following, how you grow your base, how you get commissions and new people see your art, etc., etc. You see where I'm going with it. So when you already have artists dealing with shadow bans, now what if you have to start dealing with a situation of your art being mislabeled as AI generated? Because, hey, let me be honest here. Twitter already fucking sucks. I don't trust them or Midjourney or anything of this caliber to actually do right and be able to tell what is real art and what isn't. Because again, the whole metadata conversation doesn't really last long. And again, it can be easily bypassed. There's no shot that if that's their way to be able to tell what's AI and what isn't, oh boy, we're in for a ride. And then to add on top of that, what about art made with Stable Diffusion or any other AI generated software to create photos? Like, people sit there and say, oh, well, Midjourney probably puts in some hidden signature that only can be seen by it that can sit there and pinpoint when art's made with AI. Yeah, with Midjourney, but what about everything else? Again, it's too vast. There's so many fucking different AI generated software that this is not going to work either. It's no shot. And if people really do think that this software is going to be on point and that it's not going to mislabel actual real artist art as AI, you're severely naive. There is no perfect software out there. And again, I don't trust any AI detection software to actually be correct and accurate, because we've already seen it more times than not in the past that it typically will sit there and say something that is AI. It'll say that's not AI. It'll be like, no, that's actually real. That was done by humans when it actually wasn't. So I'm sorry if I'm super skeptical of anyone who actually believes that this shit's gonna work. And then to add on top of that, what's to stop someone from just not labeling their shit as AI generated, right? Like, here's the thing. I don't want people to misconstrue my thoughts as if, oh, well, you don't want them to put any effort. You don't want them to try. You're against it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just sitting there being realistic and being honest here, right? Like, this is great. This is cool in theory and idea and practice, but there's no universe where it's going to be used correctly. There's no shot. And then if they're actually going to partner with Midjourney, I guarantee for a fact, this site is about to be flooded with way more garbage than ever imagined before. A lot of people are assuming that with this change, it's going to sit there and now make Twitter a lot more usable, and people will be able to scroll past art quickly and be like, oh, it's AI generated. Cool. Bah, go past it. For me, maybe I'm just super doom and gloom, and maybe I'm super negative, but I think this is going to be something that most AI people, some might use, but most will probably be like, oh, I didn't see that tag there. Oops, my bad. I meant to put it on. And the thing is, let's say that those people that do get caught using AI generated works and they don't put the tag, what's going to be the penalty? Are they actually going to be punished? My personal thoughts say no. I don't think it's going to happen unless something blew up super wild on the platform and it gets caught. The only other thing I can think of is Twitter's community notes feature, where the people who I guess get to make those notes and correct things. Maybe that's going to be like the saving bastion for this website, is people are going to be like, hey, this is actually AI generated art, and then it adds a tag to it when it's been called out. That's the only logical thing I think of. But then who actually gets to make that call on what's actually considered AI and what isn't, and be able to show the proof that, because again, what if someone that is an actual artist gets caught and then they, like, I know there's so many, it's so fucking complicated. That's what I'm trying to say. And while I think the idea is great, I don't think it's going to be used the way it's supposed to be. And I think this website, especially with a collaboration with Midjourney, is good. It's going to make the website even more shit than it already is. You can already see AI art flooded day to day, and this is just going to make it worse. And on top of that, just with social media in general, this whole cycle of where all these websites are just starting to embrace AI more and more and more. I mean, of course, it's to be expected, right? But again, once OpenAI Sora comes out and then the AI generated videos start flooding all these fucking platforms, I guarantee once you start scrolling through your feed, if somehow, God forbid, people actually do start using the actual tags correctly as it is, you will probably be scrolling through a lot of your social media apps and see just nonstop AI trash. I'm just being honest here. For how easy it is to sit there and make this trash and then post it online, it's gonna happen. I'm just at a loss for words. And for those that are wondering why this is such a big deal, or why I harp so much on this, especially for Twitter, is the first reason being that this is really for a lot of artists where they make their living. For all the issues this site might have, this is where a lot of artists have built their career and have gained a lot of their clients and able to get commissions and people to actually find them. And so for this site to go down this path and be more embracing of AI art more and more and more, all this is going to do is eventually get to a point where this algorithm and all the art that all the actual real artists make and gets pushed out currently in the algorithm, eventually all that's going to get pushed to the side and start to become more and more flooded with more AI garbage. And the thing is, I guarantee for a fucking fact, none of these sites will ever have a filter set in place. And I would love to be wrong on this. I hope I'm wrong one day, but I don't see any future where any of these sites are ever going to have a feature where you can block AI generated content. I don't see that ever happening. And that's the worst part. When you can't filter out content that you don't want to see, especially something like this where it says AI generated, like, that's cool. I can see there's a tag now, but why can't give me a feature to block it out entirely? I don't want to see no AI generated content on my feed at all. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. Most social sites will not see any reason to actually implement a feature like that other than to get brownie points and a pat on the back. But it still won't actually resolve the issue at hand, which is, of course, just more trash flooding the internet as a whole. Anyways, I just want to talk about this real quick because it's something that I've been seeing a lot more on my feed recently. I've been seeing a lot of people's thoughts, takes, and I decided why not give mine and share what I've been thinking recently on this whole situation, at least a little bit more in depth, and kind of explain the reason why this is such a big deal, especially on a site like Twitter, because I know there are probably some people who don't understand the significance of Twitter and why so many artists still use the platform, even despite all the shit that it does to really shit on artists. It's because more or less that's where they make their living. That's where the algorithm has luckily allowed them to find a lot of people that will want to commission them, like their art, promote their art, share it, etc., etc. That's very crucial. So like, you will not sit there and just leave a site just because it's going to shit. If you're making your living off it, it's like telling YouTubers to sit there and leave YouTube because of all the shit changes that YouTube does. There's no shot. They're never going to leave because that's where they make their living. That's where they make their money. And so to sit there and tell them to sit there and throw their money away and essentially say, fuck all this, it's not going to happen. Also, just to add on to that, where will they go? Where other place where you go to that will actually give you a decent reach? What, Instagram? Okay, buddy. Instagram ain't going to give you shit. The algorithm sucks dick. Take that from someone who's been trying to promote their art on their, by the way, follow me there, Supremacy Drip. I'll put some signs up here, follow me there. But Instagram is dog shit. You are not going to get anyone at all to find your shit there as a new person. Maybe you might get 1 or 2 people tops, but for the most part, most people are not going to find you. You got TikTok, which I think is a better option at this point. Even though fucking TikTok sucks for its own reasons, TikTok more or less will, at least to some extent, promote your art out there. You will get a couple people that will see it that are at least actual humans and not some robot that is just trying to spam you and try and somehow steal money from you instead. And again, it has to be understood. Artists want to pay their bills. They actually want to sit there and make money. They don't want to go broke. And so again, if Twitter is the place where you meet all your clients and that's where you get all your commissions, even if the site might be the shittiest place on earth, if that's where you're making all your money and that's where it's coming in, that's where you're going to stay. If you're not being able to get that same type of traction on other social media platforms, then you're going to stay where it is. And unfortunately, that is Twitter. There's no other place. Blue Sky is not going to be that anytime soon. They don't even have fucking hashtag support yet. I don't see Blue Sky becoming a replacement to Twitter anytime soon. It would be nice. It would be cool to see actual competitors and maybe something, a shift, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this currently. Maybe I'll make an updated video on this in the future, talking about this more and maybe going in depth or explaining things. I've spoke about in the last video, if you're an artist and you want some way to maybe combat the AI training on your art and just want to still post it online as well too, there is Glaze and Nightshade. Again, I don't know much about it. I'm not going to sit there and advocate that it will do the thing that it says. I know that there's a lot of artists that do swear by it, so I would take it that it does do the job, but I can't say with 100% certainty, so I can't fully recommend it, but I can at least tell you about it so that if you want to at least look at an option to maybe in a way protect your art from AI, that is something that you can look at. Anyways, you made this far into the video, consider giving a like, subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment below on what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.